fast cars, cash and casinos. Modern Russia doesn't look like a nation struggling with the ghosts of its communist past. This is a society where money rules, which makes it all the more bizarre to discover that, having discarded the dreams of a workers' paradise years ago, Russians are still deeply divided over the legacy of Joseph Stalin.
Ну и лично для меня это фигура, которая в 20 веке сыграла величайшую роль. Фигура, безусловно, достойнейшая.
Stalin, to my opinion, and I keep quiet about it, shouldn't be remembered at all. Not a word.
Stalin ruled the Soviet Union for nearly 30 years. Under his reign, millions perished, executed by the secret police, killed in famines, or sent to die in labour camps. Yet Comrade Stalin was also head of the Red Army when it defeated the Nazis. Nowadays, there is fresh interest in Stalin. You can buy DVDs and plenty of new release books about the man. In some of them, he's painted as a tyrant, in others, as a hero. But this isn't just an argument about history. It's also about politics in Russia today. Stalin has always had his die-hard fans, among older Russians who grew up when the world respected the power of the Soviet Union.
Человек, который создал нашу страну, ну его нельзя не любить. Ну вы знаете, я знала только о том, он справедлив, он добросовестный. И как вы знаете, просто, ну когда Сталин умер, мы рыдали все.
The difference now is some of their grandchildren agree. Young Russians who were still kids when communism collapsed, like Alexei Sidorov.
Это личность, востребованная поныне, что это человек, который правил действительно первым государством, в котором трудящиеся получили права управлять этим государством.
For his admirers, Stalin is above all the successful war leader. He led the country to victory in the Great Patriotic War, World War II, and claims his place alongside the Red Army's other heroes. To 23-year-old Alexei Sidorov and his friends, Stalin is the ultimate leader.
Но самое главное, ему удалось народ объединить в самые тяжкие годы, в годы войны, стать поистине народным лидером.
Нынешние правители должны понимать, что не будь Сталина, Бог знает, может быть, мы и не выиграли бы Великую Отечественную войну.
For the first time in decades, new statues of Stalin are going up, and that's angered as many Russians as it's pleased. Marking time at the back of a Moscow art gallery is one depicting Stalin's meeting with Churchill and Roosevelt near the end of the war. Sculptor Zurab Tsereteli is trying to find a home for his new masterpiece. It's been rejected by 2 cities, and he can't understand why his little piece of history is so controversial.
А если нужно, чтобы без Сталина сделать, тогда скамейку оставлю свободным и назовем, что ждем Сталина. А как по-другому? Факт есть факт.
His own grandfather was shot in one of Stalin's purges in 1937. Zurab Tsereteli says it's about time Russians accepted their history.
Поэтому слово Наполеона нельзя было сказать, но сейчас без Наполеона нельзя жить. Даже уже я вчера выпил коньяк Наполеона, это сказка.
Boris Yefimov remembers Stalin very well. He's 104 and was Stalin's cartoonist of choice, a satirist who lampooned the great man's enemies. He didn't dare draw his boss at the time, but he clearly recalls his image and personality.
У него были черты деспота, черты диктатора, и в то же время он мог себя вести как обыкновенный человек.
But Boris Yefimov mostly remembers fear, especially the day he got a phone call from the man himself.
Я встал, встаю с трубкой, потом и сразу: «С вами вчера говорил товарищ Данов об одной сатире. Вы понимаете, о чем я говорю?» Я говорю: «Понимаю, товарищ Сталин».
Yefimov survived the conversation to draw thousands of cartoons for Stalin.
He looks quite victorious.
Other artists and intellectuals were sent to the gulags or shot, including his own brother.
Я не могу не оценивать то, что Сталин меня оставил живых, потому что обычно братьев, жен, родителей арестованных людей тоже репрессировали.
We don't like the way you are working. Well, you are sacked.
Most people here have a tale to tell about the repressions.
Wasn't the real reason, of course. The KGB.
In a small town just outside Moscow lives an ordinary man with an extraordinary story.
They know everything what's going on.
This is Joe Glazer as a 16-year-old in 1932, the year his idealistic communist father decided to make the fateful voyage from South Africa to the Soviet Union.
He decided to come out to this country because he got wind of Stalin wanting to bring engineers to help them develop their country.
Within a few years, his father was arrested. To this day, he doesn't know exactly what happened to him. In 1949, it was Joe Glazer's turn.
I didn't believe it at first, that people were being arrested. And only when I was arrested myself did I believe that the people are being arrested. Those years, you don't speak anything against the Soviet Union.
Till you were released.
Nearly 50 years after his release from the Karaganda labour camp, Joe Glazer still carries the scars of Stalin's reign of terror.
It was, even now, you know, I think twice before speaking with people whom I don't know about my life in Karaganda.
Even now?
Even now. Scared stiff. Yeah.
There are people today who seem to think that Russia could use a leader like Stalin. What do you think of that?
What do I think of it? Fools. That's all.
The exhibition of the people who've been fighting.
There are those who are trying to preserve the memory of Stalin's victims. Human rights group Memorial is still helping people find out what happened to loved ones half a century after Stalin died. And in their museum are reminders of just how powerful the climate of fear was at the time. A lot of victims refused to believe that Stalin was to blame.
There is also a good symbol of Stalin, which was a special photo album of main leaders of the Soviet Union.
And who would have owned that?
Well, we don't know personally, but that was really a popular thing, that even in Gulag, people were believing that this is a mistake, Stalin is a hero, they are innocent, and this is just tragic mistake.
File upon file of tragic mistakes. Official Soviet records show more than 600,000 executions and nearly 3 million sent to camps. Many believe the real numbers are much higher.
People don't want to remember these dark things. People don't want to remember millions of deaths. People don't want to remember country which became a huge concentration camp.
That's certainly not the same Stalin Alexei Sidorov knows and loves. He says Stalin's opponents exaggerate the figures.
Ну, безусловно, прежде всего здесь надо разбираться в архивах, в статистике и не придумывать цифры, которые иногда приводят там всякие наши любители либеральной статистики о том, что это были какие-то цифры из книги рекордов Гиннесса.
Along with this passionate argument about the two Stalins is another related debate about the man who currently occupies the Kremlin.
This nostalgia for the past has produced an odd argument about the Russian President Vladimir Putin. He has plenty of critics who say he's too authoritarian, a modern-day Stalin with too much power. But at the other extreme are the Stalin admirers who say Putin is too weak and that he'll never measure up to the Soviet dictator.
It's true that Vladimir Putin has cracked down on the media and some big businesses. He's also encouraged Russians to love their country, a call to patriotism often based on the Red Army's victory.
People need heroes, and the Russian government of Putin, want to have Stalin like a symbol of hero, symbol of a person who won the war. Not Russian people, but Stalin.
For young Russians like Alexei Sidorov, who grew up in the lawless 90s, when there seemed to be no rules anywhere, Putin is no match for the ruthless Grand Master.
Но по большому счету это, в общем-то, действительно сравнение лилипута с гигантом. И поэтому очень часто в оппозиционной прессе Путина даже называют лилипутем.
Human rights group Memorial believes it's already lost this battle over history.
Russian public consciousness is fully supportive to renaming streets with Stalin's brand, renaming towns, naming the parks with Stalin and some other Soviet symbol names. So I think this victory is already in Kremlin.
It seems strange to think that the way people remember Stalin can really shape politics in Russia today. Despite losing his brother in the purges, Boris Yefimov still argues that Russia needs a strongman in charge.
Нам нужен человек такой, как Сталин, энергичный, властный, решительный, но не такой жестокий. Нужно это, так сказать, как-то, понимаете, принимать во внимание, что не обязательно вот эти расстрелы и тюрьмы.
Millions of people were put away and starved and killed and died in camps. It was just terrible. And now people just want to have his statues put up once more again. For what reason? That he destroyed us all for no reason at all.
As a young boy, Joe Glazer travelled to the Soviet Union full of hope. Now, as a gulag survivor, he thinks that rehabilitating Stalin is madness. For this witness to history at least, the past would be better left where it belongs.